Hello dudes, right, this is another Straight 6 video. We've got the sort of hopefully familiar equipment from the previous videos. Just run through it very quickly. Got Straight, obviously acronym for S for steel bottle. You've got T for tarp, that's out of its little bag there. It's the Integral Design steel tarp. R for rope, A for axe, I for insulation, which is your wool blanket there, and T for tinderbox. So got all the items there, and what I'm going to do is just show you how you carry those. Obviously there is an R for rucksack in there as well, so you don't necessarily have that as a key part of your equipment, and that would be a fairly low priority in terms of carrying stuff. So we've got what we've got also here is another bit which isn't part of the essential kit, but it's something obviously that you're going to need to pick up along the way, and we'll talk about it in other videos and things. But there is is your food bag. So you've got a cotton drawstring bag there, which allows whatever's in there to breathe a little bit. Obviously you shouldn't keep things like meat, vegetables, fruit, things like that in anything that isn't going to breathe. So I've got a cotton drawstring bag, and I've just got a toilet roll or something, a kitchen towel roll in there, just to sort of show you basically what's in there. You wouldn't be carrying a toilet roll around with you as an essential item of kit, I think. So there you go. So what I'm going to do is just, the way that we're going to carry this basically is in a bindle. We're going to roll it all up in a Hudsons bedroll. I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it, and I'm going to show you sort of how you prioritise things, sort of as put them in there, a couple of carry options. So first things first, get everything off there so you can see what we're doing. You'd take, well, I've already done it there, 10 metres, 10 feet or thereabouts of 7mm paracord there, and the reason we use that for a strap on this is just because it's a little bit thicker than the 3mm. It's a little bit less likely to cut into you. So I'm going to put that to one side, and what we're going to do is just fold about 3 or 4 inches of that in there. So you've got your wool blanket laid out there, about 7 feet long by about 5 feet wide, and what I've done is just sort of folded that in half lengthways like that, so that you get about 2.5 feet across like that. So folding it in about 4 inches, 3-4 inches, and as you're going along on the trail, obviously it's a good idea to eat little and often. If you're going to take little snack things and things with you, don't keep them in your main food pack, just keep them in your pockets, things like that. The rest of the food, obviously the main part of that, and obviously if you're going for a sort of authentic pioneers type kit or something like that, or sort of old-fashioned or Iron Age or something, you're going for things like grains and things like that, things that you can turn into sort of drop scones, that kind of stuff, things that you cook by the fire. So that's going to have things like flour in it, bits of fruit, bits of dried meat, that kind of thing. But whatever you carry, the main body of it needs to be kept dry, it needs to be kept away from the elements, so that goes right inside the pack, that forms right the centre of it. So the next thing is you're not going to need your tinderbox until you stop, so until you actually unpack. So that's another thing that can go up there, and those both go just underneath that sort of 4-inch lip there on either side, and that will be the reason for that will become apparent in a sec. Also, the main body of your rope that you're carrying as well, your other essential item, that goes in there as well. So that all forms the centre of this thing. So what we're going to do is just turn this in there on either side. So you've got 4 inches or so on both sides, and just roll that up from that end. Okay, just making sure that these ends stay in, because obviously what's happening is these little sort of 4-inch folds are actually keeping the things from falling out of each end of the pack. So put your knee on it, water bottle, that goes in there next. The reason we're putting the water bottle in there is because you are going to need that. You're going to, you're going to be drinking as you go along. You're going to be trying to drink from what you know to be clean, natural water sources as you go along, but you're going to need to collect water as well, and occasionally you're going to need to dip into your supply that you've got there. So just lift that up over the water bottle, and then next thing to go in, you've got your tarp. So push that down a little bit, and it's best to have it out of its little, obviously it's got a little drawstring bag there. The reason that we have the tarp, I mean, you can, something that size, it's very small, it's very light, it's got a little sort of drawstring thing there, so you could, if you wanted, hang it on a belt or hang it on the outside of the pack. I would recommend you keep it inside here. It's the only one you've got. I mean, it's an essential item, 1 of 6. I mean, you're not carrying an awful lot of stuff here. If it breaks, what are you going to do to replace it if that's all you've got? So you need to keep it inside the pack, really. You need to keep it. This is much more pierce puncture proof than something like this. So even though this may get wet, if it starts to rain immediately or something, what you can do is just quickly pull that out, pull it all over yourself, and that way the poncho will cover you and it will cover the bedroll as well. So poncho in there, and keeping hold of the water bottle, which is there in a big lump at the back. Roll it over like that, and there you've got your bedroll. So what you do is you just take, it's got a little knot in the end, take your 10-foot length there of cord, and what you're doing is looking for the edge of the water bottle, which should be about in the middle, and slip it underneath there, making sure it's tightly together, and you can knot that off pretty much any way you want. I'm just going to, just to be quick, I'm going to use a just a double knot like that, but sort of, you know, reasonably tight so that nothing can fall out the end there. So you've got your poncho just sort of showing that's the thing that should be, I mean, that hasn't got much weight in it, it's not going to pull itself out of the pack like a water bottle is. That's why the water bottle needs to be well secured. So you take a section of that, so you're measuring really, I suppose, how high you want it on your shoulder or your back, because you're going to wear it across yourself, I would say. There are other ways of doing this. I mean, you can take this and sort of feed it through. You lie that where your food was, right at the end of there, double your rope over, lie it across, and what you can do is sort of feed that through the centre of it and sort of pull it round. The problem is, if you do something like that, you need to cut your rope again. You need two separate new pieces that you need to cut, and not cutting your rope is actually worth something in a way, because I mean you're then maintaining its integrity as a long piece of rope, so you can use it for lots of other things. And obviously it's a precious resource because you're only carrying 6 items here. Yeah, so that's one reason to keep it like this. So you measure that to where you want it. You pull this underneath and round like that, so that's underneath. And obviously do it again. Again, you can tie, rather than sort of just leaving a straggled end here, you take a bit more time over it, and sort of tie it in a slip knot or something as well. But there you go, you get the general idea. That's how it's carried. That's just the bag from the poncho thing that can be stuffed in there with the poncho. So there you go, a bit of adjustment, and that's it. The cavity in between the water bottle and there, I would say, take your axe and just use the sort of natural curve of the head there to hold the whole thing in place. So there you go. You've got your axe, you've got your blanket protecting everything, you've got your poncho securely tucked inside there, and obviously because of the lip round the edge, nothing will fall out. So yeah, there you go. And obviously sort of tie off those little ends and things there. But yeah, that's it. So the reason that I suppose that you keep the water bottle there, and you can see that that's hopefully sort of held in place either side by the ropes. You can get your hand inside, squish everything down, and just pull that out as and when you need it. And then when it goes back in, it's got that little sort of niche where it can just sit in there, and it's protected. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.